One of the things I'm concerned with for myself is desire. I found early in my practice that fasting was very helpful, not really for any dietary purpose, but for an easy way to engage the mind in renunciation, in giving things up and not satisfying.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the ZZMH Music Hour. It's good to have you. Tonight we got a lot of stuff coming out of the MPC, a lot of stuff coming through the MPC. Rumble of Ancient Times towards the middle, along with the KO, I think. We definitely got the Pulsar. Check this out. So check this out. On the Pulsar, I've got these hats going, and there's a knob on the hats labeled Tune, which I guess technically is what it does. But it really starves the hi-hat of sound. Right now, I've got the Chaos, which is outputting a randomized voltage, rhythmic randomized voltage, out to the tune. And the tune knob now acts as a attenuator for that signal. If I drop it way down, it starves it of power. Gotta love that snare on the Pulsar. Out on that a little bit. We're also going to do a little deeper dive into some of the samples, and we're going to play around with Lumen. like this. I can crystallize it into this green and blue here. Pulsar. Drinks, y'all. And capture small loops. Okay, so I really like that loop a lot. Got the Pulsar moving with this stuff. I wish I had thought about lighting the Pulsar. It was perfectly lit earlier today, no problem, but it got dark. Go figure. Stop this sequence. Actually, we're not. We're going to go right into talking about desire. So here it goes. Now, when I talk about desire and mastering desire, I really want to make it clear. It's not any moral imperative. And this is sort of a summation of the talk that I gave to myself earlier. It's because the mastery of one's desires through negation can help free you from the grip of advertisers and propagandists of all flavors.
Something that I think needs to be really brought to the forefront of Western minds, especially American minds, if I'm really being honest about what I think, a lot of our problems stem from what we view as our purpose here, and meaning was potentially lost, what it means to be a human, what it means to be here, in what I consider to be this incarnation, because I do have faith that death is not the end, and I do believe that our incarnation here is for a purpose, not just to be satisfied or comfortable or to survive, because if it's just to survive, we've all lost already, we're going to die. The purpose appears to me to be some sort of teaching. I've often felt like I am in some sort of school. And when I found classmates who seemed to be on my level, and we all take notes together, this is very satisfying. So I view this life as a classroom. And what I believe we're learning, one of the important lessons I believe that we're learning, is how to let go. And desire is here to test our ability to do that. In a nutshell. Satiation of desire appears like it was satisfied, but desire is never satisfied. If you notice, every time you satisfy a desire, all it does is create more desire. And this is related to the scientific assertion that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. So, check it out. Desire is what I was referring to as the harsh vibration of this world. Even the urge not to do something is a desire. So, if you can view the satiation of desire, when you give in to desire, that is like passing on a signal. It's like you received a harsh signal of desire and you satiated it, so you have been a conduit for that vibration of desire, and it just continues.
Let's go.
The energy that way. This is why we're never satisfied. But I think more and more of us are coming to the understanding that there is another way to respond to desire. It's making itself known in the world of mindfulness, in terms of self-control.
I really like this stuff.
For me, it comes in the form of anger control.
But
we all have these overwhelming emotions that we need to learn to control, and that is related to a sort of different level of desire negation when you learn self-control. So, physical desire negation being, for example, I want to eat, I want that delicious thing, not satisfying it. First of all, it creates what is called tapasana, which is a fire. The friction of the unresolved desire causes fire in the self that burns away impurities. This is how it used to be said by the Sufis. Okay? For me, another thing that it gives me is when you don't satisfy the desire, the mind starts to push against you. You really reveal the nature of the mind and what a whiny bullshit artist it is when it doesn't get what it wants, how it responds to not getting what it wants. It tries to force you. It just pushes you and it punishes you with bad feelings. And you can step back if you've cultivated the watcher. You can step back and observe that and see how the mind tricks you. You can see the mind's workings in the way that it attempts to get around your negation of its desires. So, the growth of the person and the negation of desire is something that the West needs to pick up again, because it is the negation of this desire. It's one of the things that I'm going to be talking about is the tarot. A lot. I use that as a reference because I've been studying it for 20 plus years, and it has given me a lot of dividends. I'm not focused on the mysticism of these actual things. Mysticism is a practice, but what I'm looking for is dividends in my life. The tarot has resulted in insights that make my relationships with the people started this out with, I wanted to kind of drop my pedigree for why you would even want to be listening to me talk about these things. One of the things that makes me someone with something interesting to say about the mind is that my entire life I have known and considered myself to be a citizen of the mind. I've done a lot of traveling. I'm a touring artist. I used to tour a lot more when I was younger. So I've been to a lot of places in the world. And even before that, when I was very young, I never really considered myself as coming from a geographical area. And I think that's kind of lost these days in a lot of ways. Our geographical culture is very skimpy in the West. It kind of sees its borders at homecoming parades and high school spirit and stuff like this. Kids have it. I remember riding my bike with my friends, and there was a definite feeling of camaraderie and some mini culture, but that can't really be a culture because the culture has to be passed on from wise adults to children, and there just isn't a lot of that in terms of our on-the-ground neighborhood cultures. We're very atomized, we're very fragmented. This is something actually that Vervaeke covers when he talks about domicide, the death of the home. And that's not just like the death of the physical home, it's like the death of home feeling and meaning that we have for being humans. But I've always understood myself as a citizen of the mind. I think we all have this landscape in common, and no matter where I am in the geographical universe, I'm always in my mind. I'm always in this perspective, and it's a beautiful thing. I'm not in any big rush to transcend. I think that this is a useful thing to understand, that you could transcend, because it helps you understand that this is only, that the apparent physical nominal reality is only one level of what's happening to us here, the perceptible level. It helps to understand that there are other levels, but I'm not interested in getting to those other levels or activating them and moving beyond this level. I'm interested in this level here, the practical work that we all need to do. I feel I have to do. My work that I feel I have to do is calming myself so that I can better be a conduit for love for other people. And that involves not judging them to a high degree, not just not judging them for their behavior, but not judging them. Like when you see them instantly, don't put them in a box. Because this is what we do all the time. Buddha talked about this, the way that we overlay our assumptions of what reality is over top of what reality actually is, because we cannot usefully perceive all the details, all the beautiful, miraculous details of life, and stay operational. Most of us can't do that, and we need to operate. We need to operate for very real biological reasons, and we also need to operate for made-up, pretend, sociological reasons, which are also very real on their own level. They just are more something that you could consider that you've decided to do. You could opt out of society. There are people that do it. But you can't opt out of eating. You can't opt out of drinking water. So right, you can't be taking in the miraculous all the time because it gets in the way of operations. But the more that you're in touch with the underneath miraculous, and the way you get in touch with that is by removing your preconceived understandings of what you're seeing and what you're experiencing, and letting new details to flood in. Questioning, a curious approach to life, is something that I'm a big proponent of. I was going to rattle off a list of the things that I've done and how I've thought of them in order to present a sort of my pedigree on this material, but we're 15 minutes in, and I think it's about time to stop.
15 minutes
I will, I guess, scatter my credentials throughout these talks. I may just end up summarizing it, but today I guess we talked a little bit about desire and why I feel that the practice of negating desire focus on these journals is going to be practicality, a record of the thoughts that I've been thinking in regards to how I can turn what I'm understanding about the mind into practical practice. So yeah, I'm still learning how to talk to this journal, and for anybody who's listening, thank you for taking this journey with me. I wish I had a clever tagline for the end of things. Maybe I'll come up with one over the process of this, but until then, I'll see you later. When I say we're trying to cut out desires, when I talk about fasting and engaging the mind in a way that does not just capitulate to its desires, you can see parallels to biblical stories, fasting, and when one thinks about gluttony and sin, you could think, oh, it's good to fast because it denies gluttony, it denies these sins. The question is, why is that good to deny the sins? And the idea that oh, we just shouldn't desire, we shouldn't have things, we shouldn't be greedy because it's just bad to be greedy. That's not the reason for cessation of desire. It's not a moral imperative. It's that your vulnerability to your desires is what allows you to be led around by the nose by advertisers, by people that are taking advantage of the systems inside your brain that respond to desire. You're being led around by the nose if you haven't dealt with your own desire. You haven't figured out how to negate desire and to tell the mind no when it desires something. And that's why fasting is a good practice, because it's a very easy way to engage the mind in that way. To simply not give it something that it wants. The mind says, I'm hungry. I desire food. You've always given me food when I want it. And you say, no, not today. We're going all the way to sleep. Between now and sleep, you won't have any food. And you will see how the mind will turn on you. The mind is not your friend. The mind is ordering you around. And the advertisers and propagandists take advantage of that. And so the negation of desire is not some moral imperative. Like it's a good virtue to not be greedy. The taming of your own desires makes you a strong person because you're no longer able to be led around by the nose this way. You're no longer able to just sort of
Alright, that's enough of that.
fishing line your attention. So this is why the negation of desire is important. It's about inner strength, not some nebulous virtue. So I'm not saying, like, oh, don't be a bad guy, don't be greedy, because greed is so bad. Your greed and selfishness hurts everyone around you. That is true. But the reason that you should try to take control of your own greed and your own desire, the reason for trying to take control of those things is not just so you won't hurt people around you. It's to make you strong. It's to make you strong. It's like exercising. And you can be as strong as you can possibly get. If you don't have the inner fortitude, and that has a lot to do with the denial of desire. If you don't have that, all the strength in the world will help you fight. I'm reminded here of the story of the Tiger Saint. The Tiger Saint was a big man, large. To behold him is to be in awe of his size and strength. When asked how he's able to tame and even kill tigers, the Tiger Saint said this: yes, I'm strong. Not my physical strength which allows me to defeat the tiger. There are many people who are physically strong, very large men. But when the tiger appears, their hearts, they turn to children. I do that to the tiger. When the tiger sees me, he becomes a kid. And that has nothing to do with my physical strength. That's the real.
small thing. So something I wanted to say real quick about the Tiger Saint. Josh, you're gonna love this shit. Hi, Cold Rhymes. Hi, Zentron. You're gonna love this shit. So, the Tiger Saint was a saint who was known for subduing and even killing tigers. And there's a lot of stories about the Tiger Saint, but one of the really poignant ones is when he told a young boy his secret. The young boy wanted to know how he could tame and even kill tigers with his bare hands. I'm sorry to everybody, I'm not pro killing tigers. Definitely not pro killing tigers, but this was a different time and different age, and the Tiger Saint said this. He said, there's a lot of very strong men, and the Tiger Saint was a strong man. But when the tiger appears, inside themselves they become like a small child. I do that to the tiger. And that has to do with the will. And you can connect it again with the tarot, the strength card, which has everything to do with the will. It has to do with the old alchemist saying, the mind is a perfect servant and a terrible master. Now, a materialist might say, well, what could the mind serve? And the deal is that the mind serves the will. Now, people might think that the beast is the body. Beast is not the body, beast is the mind. mind and body. Same thing, basically. It's a series of reactions. You see, the body and mind are connected to this reality in a very the mind and body are connected to the world in a very intuitive and sensitive way. They are a perfect antenna to report to the will what the conditions are. But when the mind controls how you react, that's when you become a slave to desire and a slave to reactionary tendencies. It was really in my search to control my anger that I started to understand that the control of desire for things and for experience and for stimulation is very related to controlling the inner tendencies for anger or satiation of desire, lust, and things like that. Resting. Okay. Okay. Well, that was fun. Let's see what else we've got to offer. Pardon myself. Drink drinks. Oh, good. Now, Josh, I'm going to send you one of these beats. I'm going to play one of the ones from last week. One of these Finnish guys. I think number 2 was really fun. Yeah. I mean, you could go on the attack on these ones. But also, we've got a new guy. Yeah. Yes! So the tensor lets me do all sorts of great stuff. It lets me capture tones and then mess around with the tunings. I used to use it for the vocals, to run the vocals through and play with them like they were a tape machine. But when it's attached to the Esper field, I can get all sorts of, like I captured a tone here. Well, now it's gone. Okay, of course it's gone now. Never mind. That sounded awful. It's okay. There we go. Alright. Alright, so this has been a lot of fun to run through. like there's one last one that I want to get. Oh, yes. Okay, so this one was pretty interesting. Got a hold of this small noise loop inside of the KO. I had it going. And inside that, this is another thing that I really love about working with noise loops and giving them a little bit of tuning. You can come up with something that sounds like a little dancey type hook, and so I elaborated on that. Sounds like the beginning of some sort of like management type track. Heck yeah! I love the dancing jack-o'-lanterns. Those are great. Woo! I think that's going to definitely become some sort of track. Pardon me, y'all. Zaytran. This is good stuff. Woo! Let's see. I have number 3 listed as some good shit. Oh yeah, this is some serious sub. If you've got some subwoofers, you should crank them up. Or maybe turn them down. This one's got some serious low end to it. So let's get hit it up. Oh yeah. Yes, here we go. Good stuff. So, this has been a really fun time and has passed much faster than I anticipated. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. It's been a pleasure. We drank drinks, we tweaked and twerked, we hung out like a fish with their hands on fire. Very much love as always. We're gonna get into the thank yous before we head out of here. Thank you to all my Digicats. If you're interested in getting in on the action, the Patreon is at patreon.com/Zinzerna. We got Erica Pontiac, Melissa Schick, Ben Dasher, I think I might see you soon, Kenny Creech, Gerard Stoltz, Rencat. I love y'all. Thanks for helping make this possible. Audio cassettes are coming up soon. Eric Akers, Austin Avalanche Snell, Jen Dudley. Thank you very much. Wayne Anderson, Anna Cat, Austin Cat, Scarlett Herrera, Mama Cat, Babe, I can't forget you, you know what's up. Hanging out there underneath the wheel, bottom of the tower, dog fuck, you know. I'll see you soon. I love you. Mikey Cat, yes, yes. Barry Cat, Royal Blue, cheers to you. Much love, nothing is true, everything is permitted. Upon the tower of dust the cat sitted. Here we go. Alright. Thanks, Zaytran. I appreciate y'all stopping through. Josh, thanks for joining in. I'm going to have a couple beats to you soon. I really like this shit. Alright. Yeah, okay. So, yeah. Join me next week. We're going to talk about my encounter with the red truck. And that's going to be on the recordings. Little time that I dealt with my mind. Just happened the other day. But I'm looking forward to talking about that with y'all and sharing more music. Until then, I hope y'all take care. And I have yet to find a snazzy outro saying, I'll see you in the future. I stole that from my friend Visitor 10. I'll see you next week.